Stop trying to change the mirror. The mirror being your 3D reality. You can look at a mirror, but all it's going to do is show you a reflection of something. You can notice the things you don't like, but you can't make the mirror show you something different, because all the mirror can do, all it can never do, is show you your reflection. If you don't like what you see, all you have to do is change the person in the mirror. The 3D is basically a mirror, right? The external world is a mirror of where your current awareness dwells. So all of you intentional conscious manifestors out there, stop trying to change the 3D. That's all it is, that's all there really is to this process. And once I really understood this concept, things started to shift rather quickly for me. First internally, of course, and then the external world soon followed. But first, my name is Tia. This is my channel where I like to discuss pretty much all things having to do with the law of assumption. I'd really like to dispel a lot of the myths that are out there about the law, because I've managed to really change my life around in a relatively short amount of time. Well, since dropping a lot of the misinformation that's out there and, the things that we've all been told about the law of assumption, then I was able to shift relatively quickly. If you've just been listening to random people online regarding the law of assumption, instead of picking up an actual work by Neville Goddard, then let me tell you, you are definitely missing out. Actually, you are completely missing out. And yes, I understand that I'm also a random person on the internet, but I'm a random person that gets it and that's been through the ringer with all of these techniques and quote-unquote beliefs out there about how the law works. So believe me, I totally understand how difficult this can seem to be, but I promise if you just made yourself aware of the basics of conscious manifestation, then you can pretty much disregard a lot of the information, or rather misinformation, that's out there. I've said this in my other videos, but here I am reiterating this point because it really needs to be driven home. I mean, don't get me wrong, techniques definitely have their purpose, but techniques are not really the thing that manifests. Like me in the past, if you've watched videos telling you all you have to do is affirm, robotically affirm, or hit a specific number of affirmations so that they sink into your subconscious mind, my friend, you will probably create more resistance within yourself, if anything. I mean, yeah, you might see some small shifts here or there, or quote-unquote signs or birds before land, but will you get the full manifestation? That's highly unlikely. So why is that? Well, in chapter 1 of At Your Command, Neville tells us you do not command things to appear by your words or loud affirmations. Such vain repetition is more often than not confirmation of the opposite. Decreeing is ever done in consciousness. So why are we doing very surface level things, and why are we reducing the law of assumption to a series of meaningless actions? Neville's words are pretty clear. You cannot make things happen just by doing loud affirmations. It's just not going to work, especially when it comes to the big things that mean a lot to us. If you're affirming all day, every day, and you're not seeing any results, and maybe you're even feeling that resistance and that ego lashing back at you, it's time to stop. I'm not saying affirmations don't work. They certainly do. I love them, but what I'm saying is to stop the vain repetition. Like, why would you even entertain this way of going about it when there's a better, easier, and just overall more productive way of going about this? Again, decreeing is ever done in consciousness. If your affirmations, or insert whatever techniques you like to do, if those techniques are not really sinking into your conscious awareness, if you're not fixing it with consciousness, there's really no point. And to fix it with consciousness is to really change who we are. Okay, you really have to change the person in the mirror to see a different reflection. You have to change your self-concept in relation to the thing that you desire. Okay, stop listening to these people that tell you can make this and that happen by force, that if you just affirm for this to happen, that they're just going to be compelled to do what you're saying. Yes, people conform, but it doesn't happen in the way that you've been led to believe it does. And it's not because you just said some magic affirmations and now they have to conform. Okay, we're not magicians here. You cannot change the outside world by force. You have to come back to the self and make that shift within. My favorite way of doing this is just making time for myself in the day to just shut my eyes and quiet my mind and repeat my affirmations to myself. And you can do whatever technique you like, of course, but I keep doing this until I feel that expansion of consciousness. It doesn't have to take you that long. It can be 20 minutes, half an hour, really whatever time you can make for yourself. And when I'm doing this, I go within with the intention of knowing that I can be whoever and whatever I want to be in my mind. I can have whatever experience I want. And I also set the intention that I'm not doing this to get anything. Rather, I'm really doing this to become what I want, right? I am doing this for the pleasure of having that inner experience. And what's so awesome and odd about manifestation is that when you drop the focus on needing to get something, right? Trying to get something, trying so hard to change the outer world, at least in my experience, that's when I receive, okay? That's when it comes in. This is not a forceful process, so be gentle and kind to yourself. All right, thanks for listening.